One Zambia, one nation, and a very beautiful welcome to Zanis News. Let us look at the headlines in the news. World Bank to implement $10 million United States project in Muchinga. Batoka Mamba Roads preparatory works commence. Plus Office of the Vice President hands over classroom blocks in Mongu. Well, with the main news in detail, my name is Margaret Kangwa and my sign language interpreter is John Chulu. Now, the World Bank is set to implement a $10 million United States Global Environment Facility funded grant for the Sustainable Management of Ecosystems project in Muchinga Province. The World Bank Task Team leader NGAO Ngao Mubanga says the project will be implemented in Pika and Lavushimanda districts of Muchinga Province. Ms. Mubanga said this when she led staff from the World Bank to pay a courtesy call on Muchinga Province Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungule in Pika districts. Details in this report.
The World Bank is set to implement a $10 million United States project funded by the Global Environment Facility, GEF. The Sustainable Management of Ecosystems in the Miyombo project will be implemented in Impika and Lavushmanda districts in Muchinga Province. Muchinga Province Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungule is delighted that such a project has come to the district.
Addressing climate change and conservation of ecosystems is among the shared principles and commitments that the government of the Republic of Zambia and the World Bank have. Government, therefore, once again is happy to have your support in developing and subsequently implementing this new project.
The envelope that we managed to secure for this project focuses a lot on the adaptation side of programming. So that means most of the focus of the activities will have to be on adaptation, but as well as conservation.
Provincial Forestry Officer Martin Musaba has also appealed to the project to consider adding Luitikila Forest.
For all the three districts, in fact, Pika, Lavushmanda, and Kanchibu, they all benefit from the water that comes from this forest. So it's very, very important that we also take into account the protection of this important water catchment area.
Peggy Gutinu for Zanis in Impika, Muchinga Province.
Thank you so much for that report. We take you to Northwestern, where the Civil Society for Poverty Reduction has expressed hope that the Access to Information Law, which was recently signed by President Hakainde Hichilema, will improve service delivery in the communities because leaders will now be held accountable. This was revealed during a meeting held in Solwezi to discuss the newly enacted Access to Information Law. Here are the details.
The Civil Society for Poverty Reduction, CSPR in Northwestern Province, is conducting a sensitization meeting on the newly enacted Access to Information Law to raise awareness among its stakeholders. David Chongo is Northwestern Province Civil Society for Poverty Reduction, CSPR chairperson, and explains more.
CSPR in Northwestern Province, we have decided to gather our colleagues from the media and also fellow CSOs to come and discuss the enacted ATI, the law, the Access to Information Act, which is now law. But the importance of the law being enacted is that finally our communities can begin to hold our leaders to account based on their service to the people. Because with information, it's possible that we can now go and ask the relevant questions, the questions that have got quality, questions that are well informed. Why? Because we have access to information. I would like to thank government for enabling this process to this stage.
During the discussions, government departments are urged to proactively disclose information that are not security in nature.
Public bodies are mandated to proactively disclose certain categories of information. thereby fostering a culture of openness, transparency within government institutions. So when we look at it in the context of Northwestern Province, how many public institutions can we say provide information? How many proactively disclose? Because there's a difference between you going to an office to request for information and information being disclosed even before you go and request for it. So how is that situation? What is the context currently for that?
In the implementation of the Access to Information Law, the Human Rights Commission has been given the role of an oversight body.
So according to is it the same act, they're saying only security, information that has to do with the security of the nation. Because as far as I'm concerned, the provisions are that only exempted information is not supposed to be released.
Reporting for Zanis News, I am Chebunkoma in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
And now in construction news, Chasefu Town Council has resumed construction works on Luwerezi Bridge in Chasefu District of Eastern Province. Chasefu Town Council Assistant Director of Works, Bright Muila, says initial works started in January 2024 but were suspended due to heavy rainfall. And speaking during an interview with Zanis, Mr. Muila pointed out that the crossing point is a 2022 Constituents Development Fund project being done at a cost of 500,000 kwacha. He added that the structure is a culvert bridge consisting of 9 mm brick culverts expected to be completed in 8 weeks. Mr. Muila disclosed that a diversion has been constructed to facilitate the easy movements of goods and services. He also noted that many farmers are harvesting, hence the need for connectivity. Mr. Muila said the diversion will enable farmers to transport their food crops from one area to another. And site foreman Mazunzo Banda says the reduction of the water levels in the Luwerezi stream will quicken construction works. Mopani Copper Mines has awarded its unionized workers a 13% pay rise. The unionized workers have also been awarded a funeral grant in increment of 10,000 kwacha from the current 3,000 kwacha. This follows the conclusion of the 2024 collective bargaining process between the mine management and mine unions representatives. And Mine Workers Union of Zambia President Joseph Chewe announced the final agreement at a joint press briefing by Mopani management and the mine union's leader in Kitwe today. And yesterday, miners at Mopani had threatened to protest against speculations by some Copper Belt-based members of parliament who claimed that the new investor wanted to give them poor conditions of service. And now we get to education news. The Office of the Vice President under the Resettlement Department has handed over a 1x2 classroom blocks to Kainamfumu resettlement scheme constructed at a cost of 856,000 kwacha. Officiating at the function, Northwestern Province Permanent Secretary Colonel Grandson Katambi retired implored parents to take advantage of the conducive educational environment created by the government to educate the girl child. More in the following report by Jennifer Mutoshi.
This is Kainamfumu Primary School in Solwezi with over 300 pupils from grade 1 to 7. Classroom space and desks have been among the challenges the school is facing. However, the Office of the Vice President, OVP, has constructed a 1x2 classroom block which has been furnished using the Constituents Development Fund to alleviate the challenge.
Almost 900,000 kwacha. Mambo yabe bana. Bayenga kwa epa. Amona tuishai kwabo. Tusantile. Awa Vice President. Pamutima wabo bakuamba ne. Ako Kainamfumu kuti vantu navo vapaiko school. Ichi muntu usina mutima wawa matevyo.
OVP Director Resettlement urges residents to venture into farming drought-resistant crops.
We are also to remind our dear farmers that we need to use our land more productively, and as government we are initiating several programs through the Resettlement Department under the office of the Vice President through the provincial office to ensure that as many of you as possible are trained to venture into oil agriculture so you can provide food to our learners as they come to class.
The Ministry of Education and the area councillor are grateful.
As Minister of Education, we wanted to introduce grade 8 here, but it is because of inadequate infrastructure and inadequate staff houses. Because we need to bring more teachers. Like teachers being indicated, we don't have enough teachers. But those are our plans. We want to appeal to you, guests of honor, and also to other stakeholders to come on board to ensure that we provide infrastructure so that our learners could also transition to secondary education.
When I reflect the presidential directive of providing a conducive environment for our learners and also making sure that no child sits on the floor, sir, this is one of the biggest achievements we have done as a government.
Reporting for Zanis in Solwezi District, Jennifer Mtoshi.
Thank you, Jennifer, for that report. Now, the Water for Kids, a UK-based organization in partnership with government through the Zambia Institute of Environmental Health, has installed a borehole at Kalasa Primary School in Mwansabombo District. And acting Mwansabombo Town Council Secretary Matthews Molenga says the solar-powered borehole was installed at a total cost of 200,000 kwacha and will supply piped water to the school and surrounding communities. More in the following report by Lewis Changwe.
Pupils at Kalasa Primary School in Mwansabombo District and the surrounding community are now able to access clean and safe drinking water. This is because Water for Kids, a UK-based organization in partnership with government through the Zambia Institute of Environmental Health, has installed a borehole at the learning institution.
We want to thank the partners, Water for Kids, for the support that they gave us. We have been able to put up a 10,000 liters water system with 2 hand washing facilities for pupils, as well as also for a shower room for the girl child. This is aimed at improving personal hygiene as well as general surrounding at the school.
Acting Town Council Secretary Matthews Molenga emphasized the need for more partnership.
Mwansabombo Town Council, in partnership with the Water for Kids, will finish the construction of water. That is a 10,000 liter tank for Kalasa Secondary School and the nearby community. We are appealing to other stakeholders and other NGOs that if they can come up with the similar projects to help the community, to help our community in the supply of clean and safe water.
The beneficiaries are grateful for the provision of clean and safe drinking water.
We are truly grateful for this partnership, and we look forward to a further collaboration that will help in improving our school.
We want to thank the government for identifying our school through Water for Kids organization. So bring this development to our school, each one of us is going to benefit, and also reducing the real diseases such as cholera and dysentery.
Thank you
Lewis Changwe, Zanis, Mwansabombo, Luapula Province.
Thank you so much, Lewis, for that report. We now take our first break, and when we get back, do get to join us for agriculture news.
Zambia Today is a program that keeps you informed on various government policies and programs. Join us every Tuesday at 18 hours on Zanis TV, Topstar Platform, Channel 6 DTT, and 458 DTH. Don't miss. Woman Thou Art is a program that offers counsel to the female folk, sharing real-life experiences and providing guidance to the women and young girls on necessary steps and conducts that will help shape and nurture a sober society. Watch Woman Thou Art on Zanis TV every Wednesday at 18:30 hours on the Topster channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH.
Welcome back. We continue with agriculture news. The African Land Forces Summit, currently underway in Livingstone, has reiterated the need for the African continent to heighten security surveillance in border areas to stamp out human trafficking and illegal migration. And military advisor to Zambia Army, Commander Jethro Chipili, says human trafficking poses a threat to security in Zambia and the African continent at large. And Brigadier General Chipili was speaking in an interview with Zanis on the sidelines of the African Land Forces Summit taking place in Livingstone. And now, the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, has allocated 2,632 metric tons of relief white maize to Lusaka province. The Lusaka province permanent secretary, Robert Kamalata, says the relief maize is intended for all the 6 districts in the province. And speaking in Lusaka, where he officially opened a virtual provincial disaster management committee meeting, Mr. Kamalata explained that the relief maize will be for the benefit of vulnerable communities. And Mr. Kamalata said the move is in response to President Hakainde Hichilema's spelled out measures, which includes channeling more resources towards humanitarian relief purposes. Mr. Kamalata says Lusaka province is actively embarking on the coordination of various drought response activities, projects and programs in sectors including agriculture, water resources development and health, among others.
Among the short-term measures was the need to channel more resources towards humanitarian relief purposes. This is in order to ensure that all affected citizens do not go hungry. Therefore, the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, commonly known as DMMU, through the Food Reserve Agency, FRA, has allocated an initial 2,632 metric tons of relief white maize to all the districts under Lusaka province.
This Provincial Disaster Management Committee is therefore expected to deliberate over these matters and confirm suitability of these project implementing partners as per regulation. Let me just quickly highlight that project implementing partners, according to the Disaster Management Operations Manual, are required to have a legal status or be a legal entity capable of entering into contractual obligations with the government.
And now in health news, the Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Kennedy Lishimpi, says government is committed to achieving universal health coverage and improving health outcomes for its citizens. Dr. Lishimpi said this during the official opening of the new Cleft Care Unit and Prosthetics and Orthotics Workshop at Belt Kiwa Children's Hospital in Lusaka today.
Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Kennedy Lishimpi, has officially opened a new Cleft Care Unit, Prosthetics and Orthotics Workshop at Belt Kiwa Children's Hospital in Lusaka. The Ministry of Health Quality Assurance Assistant Director, Godfrey Piri, who spoke on behalf of the Permanent Secretary, says the occasion marks a significant milestone in government's efforts to improve healthy services, particularly for those in need of special care.
This occasion marks a significant milestone in the government's efforts to improve healthcare services in Zambia, particularly for those in need of specialized care. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, according to the World Health Organization, an estimated 295,000 newborn babies die each year globally before they reach 4 weeks of age due to congenital disorders and their associated complications. Additionally, congenital anomalies do contribute to lifelong disabilities and health conditions. It is unfortunate that over 50% of disability-adjusted life years lost each year due to congenital disorders could actually be prevented with prompt surgery or other treatment.
In Betkiwa Children's Hospital, Prosthetics and Orthotics Director Margaret Guyen says access to quality prosthetics and orthotics services are often limited, especially for children in underserved areas.
Access to quality P&O services is often limited, especially for children in underserved areas. By establishing this department, we are not only improving the lives of individual children, but also contributing to the overall health and well-being of our community and country.
Meanwhile, Betkiwa Children's Hospital Executive Director Frida Kabaso says the new facility will not only enhance service delivery, but it will also align with government's effort to improve health services for children with disabilities.
Opening of our comprehensive cleft center and also the prosthetic workshop. This is a significant occasion in the life of Betkiwa Hospital because we are aware that the services that we are launching today are services that are scarce in the country, and we are adding value to the health system in Zambia.
The opening of the Clift Care Unit will therefore play a vital role in advancing access to comprehensive Clift Care services for children, as well as support rehabilitation services in the country. Precious Piri reporting for Zanis, Lusaka.
We continue with the news. In education segment, Unify Zambia has donated 61 by 50 kilogram bags of cement worth 10,000 kwacha towards the construction of 1 by 3 classroom block at Mayoba Secondary School in Kalomo District. Mayobo community came up with the initiative to put up a secondary school in order to accommodate pupils that qualify from primary to secondary school. Details in the following report.
The construction of a 1 by 3 classroom block for the yet-to-be-established Mayoba Secondary School in Kalomo has received material support from Unify Zambia. The financial lending institution, through its Kalomo branch, made the donation to the Mayoba community following its quest to set up a secondary school in the area. Mayoba Ward Councillor Lewis Matenyani highlights the challenges in his area.
This school is a zonal school in the ward. We have 5 schools that fits up to this school. And because of the problem that we have, we don't have a secondary school the whole ward.
The civic leader pledges to utilize the 2024 CDF allocation to the project.
CDF, which is going to be funded for 2024 for Mayoba ward, the whole package should go towards the secondary school.
And Unify Kalomo branch manager Mirimo Mutero says her organization is delighted to plow back to the community it serves.
The construction of the new classroom spaces using our donation will not only improve the learning environment for the pupils. This contribution is just a small part of our commitment to corporate social responsibility. On behalf of Unify Zambia, I want to express how delighted we are to support your efforts in education.
The Education Authority in the district applauds Unify.
I want to thank Unify Zambia through their branch in Kalomo for the great work that they are doing. They recognize the importance of educating our young generation as a nation.
The pupils are equally happy with the coming of the secondary schools in the area.
I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude for your generous donation of cement.
Reporting, Martin Mashekwa, Zanis in Kalomo of Southern Province.
Thank you so much for that report. And now, the United National Independence Party, UNIP, says it is considering forming an alliance with the ruling United Party for National Development. And speaking at a press briefing in Lusaka today, acting UNIP President Mike Kaira says the party wants to form an alliance with UPND because it resonates well with what his party stands for. Mr. Kaira noted that the alliance will help foster national unity and development under the national motto of One Zambia, One Nation. And as part of the government's projects, Mr. Kaira has advised government not to neglect copper production as it is a necessity in the country's economic growth. Mr. Kaira has also appealed to the UPND government to change the current school syllabus in order to put emphasis on training entrepreneurial skills. He further commended President Hakainde Hichilema's leadership even under the difficult circumstances, specifically under the climate change crisis. Mr. Kaira has since called on the citizenry and political parties not to finger-point UPND, but to find means of producing massive food to sustain the country.
And a unanimous decision was made that UNIP should join the UPND alliance in order to help foster national unity and development under the national motto of One Zambia, One Nation. UNIP stands firm on the belief that national unity stands as a people's solidarity and pillar to strengthen democracy and trigger economic growth and national development. The reasons why UNIP has decided to support the UPND-led government are as follows. One, the trajectory that the new Dawn government has taken to revamp and build the economy is the correct position which eluded the two past governments. If UNIP was, for example, voted into government today, we will not take any other route other than the same route that UPND is doing to build the economy of the country, which from past historical perspective is what UNIP stood for and was doing. Two, the policies of the New Dawn government are mostly in replica of UNIP policies, except that UNIP did not have time to conclude them.
And finally, in sports news, some sports bodies have welcomed government disbursement of 30 million kwacha to local authorities for community sports development. And last evening, government, through the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts, announced the disbursement of 30 million kwacha sports grants to local authorities towards promoting sports activities and enhancing sports infrastructure in their respective regions. A Netball Association of Zambia President Martha Lungu says this investment is expected to contribute to the overall development of sports and help in tapping talent from rural areas. And Lungu adds that the biggest challenge that most sports associations are faced with are resources to conduct their sports activities, stating that the funds will go a long way in helping community teams across the country. And Zambia Swimming Union President Guy Piri says the biggest challenge the association is facing with is that of infrastructure, and hopes that through the grants, swimming pools can be constructed in rural areas. Meanwhile, Chess Federation of Zambia President Leslie Chikuse says the move is welcome as it will also decentralize the operations of sports and gives local authorities to legitimacy of administering sports within their regions. That sports item brings us to the end of the news, and before I finish, we look at the headlines once again. World Bank to implement 10 million United States dollar project in Muchinga. Batoka Mamba Road's preparatory works commence. Plus, Office of the Vice President hands over classroom blocks in Mongu. Wow, that was all we had for you, and on behalf of the entire production crew here at Zanis, thank you so much for being with us. It has been Margaret Kangwa, and my sign language interpreter was John Chulu. Stay tuned.